There are movies out there that I think are perfectly fine on their own. Unfortunately, they are sequels and disobey the direction given to them in the previous film, making them bad sequels. Example, Alien 3 killing off Newton Hicks in the opening montage. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is a whole new can of worms. Let's get into it.
Vaughn Jog Vlog. Like, comment, share, follow, subscribe. Because fuck Google.
But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies, ANDAR.com. Look at these beautiful cord burritos in stone gray. You need some cord burritos? Yeah, you do. Use my promo code FRY20, save 20% at checkout. When the Paramount Viacom Nickelodeon brand picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IP, it looked like an absolute steal. I mean, the creators of the Turtles, they made their money already. They figure, hey, we'll just go ahead and sell this for a sum that can be redeemed with one film. It looked like Paramount made the bargain of the century, comparing this to what Disney got into with Lucasfilm, and how they have devalued the Star Wars brand by taking theatrical tentpole films and making them into something of a streaming service series. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is really the perfect IP. You can do just about anything with it. You can print comic books. You can reboot a kid's cartoon series every 10 years or less, and no one has to be retained. If Mark Hamill isn't Luke Skywalker, we riot. Oh, but no one even lifted an eyebrow when Judith Hoag was replaced as April O'Neil for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze the following year. With this in mind, things get very tricky for Mutant Mayhem, the latest reboot effort of the Ninja Turtles. With Seth Rogen's sticky fingers all over this, and directed by Jeff Rowe, who co-helmed The Mitchells vs. the Machines. We're doing a CGI film with a lot of stylistic touches, very much inspired by the Spider-Verse, but there are elements that come in where it just seems like there should have been some actual adult oversight for this forever teenager. Check out how Mutant Mayhem introduces our heroes to the audience.
There's this scene pretty early on where the boys are using their ninja skills to go grocery shopping, and it shows off their personalities.
No, Chica. The Turtles are not shopping. They are robbing a convenience store and looting a shipping container. Now, this is not a good message to be sending to kids for your kids' movie. The 87 cartoon didn't address how they acquired food, but at least the 1990 film had them paying for pizza. And our Turtles have never been more teenagers than they are here. Voiced by teenagers with the body of teenagers, even getting off track with attention deficit disorder like teenagers. Leo, Don, Raph, and Mikey each have a distinct look, but I feel like their personalities are barely touched on. I don't mind seeing these liberties taken with the beloved Turtle franchise, but the problem is when you start to betray what makes the Turtles by completely changing their origin. Oh, well, the Ooze still turned them into mutants, okay, but who trained them in martial arts? It wasn't Splinter. No, it was Splinter watching Jackie Chan movies, which is a very weird concept given that this Splinter is a xenophobe and hates humans so much he is willing to learn human fighting techniques that animals really don't need because they have sharp claws and teeth. Our villain is Superfly, who I don't recall being in the cartoon of the 80s and 90s, and he has a band of forgettable mutants voiced by Seth Rogen's friends in one ADR session, seeking to copy Magneto's scheme from the first X-Men film. Oh, but it gets worse. It gets much worse. You couldn't possibly recognize April O'Neil, and now she is in high school, meaning she may as well have been an entirely different character. I'm sure many salivated at the idea of Jackie Chan voicing Splinter, but did you expect him to be a goofball? Splinter needs to be quiet, mysterious, stoic, not a walking dad joke. Also, why does a rat have antlers? And you can be forgiven for forgetting that the Turtles are even turtles. They do nothing turtle-like the entire film. In fact, by the end of it, they get enrolled in high school. They actually drop their bandanas and go to class. Oh, and Leo wants to date April. And of course, we get a post-credit stinger teasing the arrival of the Shredder, who has no intrinsic beef with the Turtles, Splinter, or even business being in New York City. It sounds like I'm making this all up, but we do live in an era in which fan fiction becomes first-party official. But we're a step away from saying this is canon, because the Ninja Turtles are in a special realm in which, like I stated, they can be rebooted endlessly, and in fact, we expect it. Meaning, if you dislike this Ninja Turtles movie, just wait a few years. Eventually, we're going to get all flavors of Ninja Turtles. We're going to get the gritty, The Last Ronin game, which at some point will be a movie. We'll get a funnier, more adult-oriented cartoon. It's really just a matter of time, because with this franchise, anything is possible. Now, if I were younger and less jaded, and this was the Ninja Turtles' first and maybe last chance at a theatrical outing, I would be ashamed, I would be upset, but what is there to get upset about when a total redo is inevitable? These companies are not buying up the properties you loved as a kid to safeguard them. The name of the game is running them into the ground. So fans will be receptive to another reboot, more product will be made, and we will never again see a time in which we are lacking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.